Hello. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to finally get to play a little bit of Story again. It has been too long, too long. Which, so, because because I am going to be talking about my job and all that I just got, I got it on the news scene. I got it on showing everything, not capturing games specifically, so I can like pull up images and stuff. And oh my goodness. When I tell you, Mom's boyfriend would not stop about the smell. Like, don't get me wrong. If you're not used to cows, I can kind of see how the smell would be bad. I changed my clothes. I changed my shoes. I wasn't wearing the hat or the mitts. The only thing I was wearing that entered that barn was my coat. That place, it was like 0 degrees for you no, it was about 3 degrees. So for Americans, it would have been... Oh, am I on my way to my corpse? No, I shouldn't be. I was there for a reason. I was here for a reason. I don't remember anything. Died here? Meh. Meh. So be it. So be it. But, oh my goodness. He wouldn't stop about the fucking smell. And it's like, okay, I get it. He made a couple comments, and it's like, fuck's sakes. Like, fuck's sakes, give it a break. Now don't get me wrong. If you're not used to the smell, it is pungent. Like, it will knock you on your face. You will get fucked up if you're not used to that smell. But, like, it wasn't that bad, honestly. Now that's coming from somebody who very much is used to that smell. No, I'm not even used to it. It was like my first time in a cow barn actually working. I've never worked in a cow barn outside of that. I think I entered a cow barn once. No, twice. Twice beforehand, and it was because, and I quote, school. Which that's another amazing news. I've accepted a program at a college a few hours away from me, where I will be learning greenhousing rather than agriculture. Now, don't get me wrong. I think agriculture has much more to offer than greenhousing does, but I have a desire to leave Canada. I don't really want to live here for personal reasons, as I've touched on before a few weeks ago, and because of that, I need to move. I've already chosen which country I plan to move to, and with said country, a problem is agriculture isn't really a thing. I won't go into details as to why it kind of give away what country I'm going to. I kind of want that to be a little secret, you know? There could be a little some secrets, you know? Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with some secrets. So anyways, secret. Yeah. So anyways, I've chosen which country I plan to go to, and greenhousing is possible, but agriculture, as in classic farming, that 99% of people think of when they hear agriculture, it's non-existent. And because of that, greenhousing has to be done. And so, going to school for greenhousing would be a much better choice to help me fill the qualifications to be able to move in the other country. As far as I'm aware, from what I've read, I know a good amount, but I don't know all. When it comes to how moving there would be, it's one of those where you just have to have a certain level of education. And I plan to go for it, and I plan to maybe surpass it, I don't know. But with doing that, you need to find someone that will hire you. It's not like Canada that will kind of just open their doors to anyone. It's, we need you to find people that are willing to hire you. And because of that, I need to take a program that will have me be hired. If I put in that, hey, I went to school for this before, and I never finished it, but I still retained some of the knowledge, and I went to school for this, while applying, it will make it easier. I do plan on learning a few languages, and I'm actually thinking of possibly incorporating it into the channel in some manner. I want to learn a few languages. I want to learn Norwegian or Swedish. I want to learn German. Maybe Italian, but meh. Maybe, but it's more than likely going to be a no. I do want to learn Korean and Japanese. It's something I've been really, really interested in, is knowing 5 languages. And I know that me being the age I'm at, I will never be not fluent. You can become fluent once you're able to express your ideas most of the time. You'll never be I will never be a native speaker. I'll never sound like a native speaker of the language. I might get the accent down, but no. And with learning these languages and such, which would be amazing to do, there's other costs. I know that, and that cost is time. Now, obviously, I would not spend strictly my whole time learning it on stream, because that just seems like once a week fuss. That's not okay. And so, even though I would definitely stream it like once a week, whatever, it also comes to the fact and comes down to it being of, hey, I still need to put up, it would be something like, hey, yeah, you know, I put a challenge out there, for like once a month or whatever, where it's like, I play a video game and every time I die I have to do a lesson, with this one, with like Duolingo or whatever. I have to do a lesson and learn something. I remember I used to take Duolingo a lot for Japanese, and I got pretty okay through it. N1? Maybe. No, wait, no. And wait, what's the levels? Which one can I open? This one. I'll open this one. Here, what are the N levels in Japanese? What is the Japanese N1, N4 and 5 measure the understanding of basic Japanese, mainly learned in class? So, yes, I was completely fucking wrong. I was nowhere near an N1. N1 is like, you were born and learned it. Think, Joey, the anime man. He is an N1, he fucking far surpasses. He is a native speaker. It is his second first language, as Giga said. And with that, obviously, you motherfucker. And with that, I'll never get to that point. That's something where like you as you age. And while we can very much learn languages as we age, and we can constantly learning new things. Say for example, we were dropped in a new area, and slowly pick it up. Children just do it so much better. Children just do it so much better. And envious in that degree, because like their brains as they develop, it's like so moldable. I was always told, learn while you can. Learn easily while you can, and to me, it's nonsensical. I can't learn easily. Like this isn't easy learning. I still have to like pay attention and all that. But I learn. I just absorb it just by being there. And don't get me wrong, I'm still that way to a good degree. And that's only because of my past experience that I can fall back on. But god damn, is it so much worse now? Like holy shit. And the thing is there's a saying that when you're in your 40s and you start to do something or whatever, and you're like, oh, I've always wanted to do this, and the saying, I think the saying goes, the best time to do it was 20 years ago. The second best time to do it is today. And so, with wanting to do that, I'm gonna be honest here. When I originally left school, it's because I was going through a lot of health issues. I couldn't, no matter, I would show up to classes every day, I was paying attention, I was doing everything I was told to do, and all that, but I never succeeded. The only thing I could succeed in was math, and that was strictly because it was all stuff I already knew. And even then, I only got an 80-something. It still bothered me. All the other classes, like, I'd start with I'd say high 60s, low 70s in my first semester, and you'd think, wow, monster, that's pretty low grades. And I agree, that is. I'm not used to that. I'm used to 80s, 90s, without studying. So when I got to college and all that, and I still did research, I still did everything, it would really much be difficult. And the thing is when I got there, they said, don't worry about how your grades looked prior to this course and all that, because what we do is, if you do as much as you're supposed to, you will get in the 60s. If you learn and do perfect in what you're supposed to, you do everything they want, the most you will get is a 69. You have to go above, you have to do more than what they ask to get a 70 or higher. To get an 80 to 90, you need to do everything basically perfect. And to get higher than that is almost impossible. And they said that straight out to me. I remember hearing that, and it was one of those, what? Why would they do that? It made no sense. It still doesn't make sense to me. And I'm still... Oh, that's what I was doing. I was getting food. it still doesn't make sense to me because, like, why? Why is it made so difficult to succeed in there? Like, I get it, it's college. But seriously? Like, what, why is it that, like, no matter how much I do, and, like, so I'd get in the 60s and all that. I'm like, okay, I'm doing as much, that I'm learning what they want me to learn. And then it would slowly drop. I think by the third semester, I had to drop a course to be in a 50% average, in the 50 percentile, which was the range where they said you would be on probation, and if you could not get a 60% or higher, they would kick you out. You would not graduate, and it was frustrating. And not only that, I was having breakdowns daily. Like it was a lot. And so I left school. Right as I left, COVID hit, and all the schools in Canada shut down. They're like, nope, we're not opening for anything. Everything was shut down and all that. I couldn't go back to school. And so about 2 years ago, 2022, 2023 is I believe when they started opening schools up, colleges, universities, all that. But I didn't have the money. I still don't, technically. If I wait till I get the money, I'm going to be working basically minimum wage jobs the whole time, trying to get money. To attend something where that's not really possible, especially in the economy we're in, like, it is just no bueno. No bueno, you know? Like, it's just not possible. And so I I decided to make a leap. I'm going to get government loans, which I will be getting again. I got them before, and you'd think, oh my God, monster, like, don't do that. That's bad. I want to preface something. Here in Canada, Ontario specifically, I took OSAP. Uh, you get you get OSAP. If you want, what the fuck? If you want to go for like college loans and all that, you gotta go for OSAP. And I remember doing a little research into the OSAP and all that because like there was a large amount of time where I was struggling to even make payments on it, and it was only $100 a month. No, actually 92. I took out loans before to be able to get jobs that fell through, and I had to ask for favors to even get the opportunity for an interview for a job and all that. Not a job itself. And so when I which in the end, yeah, like I got the job. I had to ask my sister, like, hey, you give your job this resume and all that. Like, I need a job badly. And what uh from what I've heard, they needed workers badly because their one area that they were gonna hire and put me in, like, they the turnover rate was bad. Like, almost everyone they get rid of. And a lot of the time, it's because they just don't like the people. It's not that they're bad workers. It's that someone else doesn't like them or whatever. So it's like, okay, gone. And it's like, what? Like, it's not even like one of those situations where, oh yeah, um, oh, I don't like them because they're an asshat or some shit. It's like, genuinely, you do something I don't like. Like, oh, you don't do it the exact way I want you to. Okay, you're not getting hired. And I had to be wary of that. In the end, they took an appreciation from me because what happened was there would be days I would work, obviously. I would do what I could. They want, we would build doors, and so if you could get them in and out, the faster, the more money you made them. And I would do it. Oh shit. Oh shit. 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 Oh, fuck off! Like, are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Anyways. Ooh, hello! So what would happen is, I would, because I did roofing and all that, naturally I'm a bit fast. I do work to get it done faster, if at all possible. And so, naturally, I would do the job faster. Even though I was still slow, I picked up on it fast, and I would do it, which was surprising, honestly. Simple job, so I guess that's why. In the end, it was okay. Which is how, I don't remember. Yes, it's good. In the end, like, I did okay. I then stayed long enough that they paid out to get me. I was told my sister, she was a friend. No, she not was. She is a friend of the one supervisor. Like, they are friends outside of work. They're friends because my sister's fiance and him are friends. And so she met him through him and just developed a friendship naturally. Anyways, he would say something. I accidentally kind of blabbed about him leaking information in, seriously. Like, upset him. I didn't even mean to, but I did. And what happened was, he told her that the other supervisors very much liked me because, and I quote, I took incentive. They didn't have to pay me extra, and I was doing the work of, say, a supervisor. If we didn't have somebody guiding us, I would step up to the plate to guide us. And it genuinely did help me learn the job. So beautiful. It made it that I could learn it, and it was so much easier. Anyways, going off of that, they put me in a different year. They wanted me to succeed and to be a better worker for them. And I wanted to because I wanted to get paid more. I wanted more money. I wasn't going to tell them. I wasn't telling them that I was planning on going back to school. And when I got put in that new area, they upped my pay to, like, I think it was 26 cents. No, my pay was upped by 26 cents after 3 months. And it's like, what? Like, you put me in all these different jobs and all that, and one of the bits was I got hurt. I didn't know what happened. All I know is one day I was pushing wood through the saw like I was supposed to, and then I lost the ability to walk. And I just fell. I caught myself on the wood and held myself up, but my legs were not working. Imagine the videos where you see a kid get spooked and then they just drop because their motor ability, because the brain's not telling them to attack to keep these muscles active, and they just drop. Imagine that. And I felt a searing pain in my back. I tried to straighten my back and get back up, and it happened again. In the end, the person who was training me, he was doing a half-assed job because he didn't want the job. He told me, Monster, just stop. He didn't verbally speak to me, but he just waved me off like, stop trying. I know that wave enough. He went and got somebody, and he got my supervisor. My supervisor's like, Monster, what's going on, man? And I explained exactly what happened. Like, I in the wood. I don't know what happened. He's like, okay. They filled out a doctor's report. They filled out, he was getting information from me, whatever. I had to talk to other supervisors. Same thing happened. Same thing. I told them, I don't know what happened. This is what happened. This is what I did. This is what happened in the end. And in the end, they just sent me home for the day. They said go to a hospital, talk to us after. I was told that I was to return to work the next day and to do light duty for a week, for the rest of the week, and that was the reason that it was just a pulled muscle. They thought, oh yeah, you know, he's young, he just overworked himself a little bit. For the next 2 months, and I mean this, for the next exactly 2 months, I was in pain that was only getting worse. It got to the point that for I think 3 days before I finally saw a chiropractor, because I tried talking to my doctors. They're like, yeah, we'll send you for x-rays. They never contacted me about the x-ray result. Didn't at all. They just acted like they didn't get them. And I'm like, hey, like, where's these x-ray results? And they're like, oh, yeah, no, to talk with your doctor and all that, you have to make an appointment with them. It's like, what? Yeah, we need an appointment for you to talk with your doctor about the x-ray results. Like, fine, get me one as fast as possible. And they're like, yeah, sure. So I'd have to, like, spend my whole lunch not eating, not doing anything, just being in more pain, and turns out that nope, nothing showed on the x-rays. I'm like, okay, can we do anything else? And they're like, no. Just instantly, no. But we haven't discussed anything. There's nothing else to do. It's just back pain. We can prescribe you some medicine. No, they didn't even offer prescription meds. They're just like, we can send you to a pain specialist. And it's like, what? They're like, yeah. It's just and it's like, well, this incident happened. And they're like, yeah, it's just pain. We would just send you to someone who can help you with managing the pain. It's like, but I want to solve the issue. And they're like, we don't know what the issue is. Well, let's run some tests. No, there's no tests to run. We already checked on the x-ray. Nothing showed up on the x-ray. X-rays don't fucking check muscle tissue. I want to preface. I went to work. And not the same injury. No, the injury happened again. Not as severe. I wasn't dropping inability to walk, but it was happened again. I went to the chiropractor again, and they're like, and I couldn't see the chiropractor. I saw the weekend. So what happened was, like, I went to the chiropractor on Saturday, because quite literally, I spent Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in my bed, unable to walk. For Wednesday, I wasn't able to walk up. Thursday, I think I could get up a little bit to grab a drink. That was it. And Friday was the exact same thing. Was to grab a drink, go to the bathroom, and go right back to bed. And I want to preface, the entire time my mom was yelling at me that you need to go into work. Even if they send you home, you need to go into work. My sister would tell me, straight up, if you go into work, they are not going to send you home. They will not send you home. So they would have had me working in a condition where I could barely, if not, walk. But I want to preface it. This company is very much right-wing in that it's very much classic American culture. If you are sitting, you are not working. If you are not standing, you are not working. And it didn't matter what. So like cashiers. Cashiers, for example. They're not allowed to sit for the most part. Most businesses will have them stand in place the entire time. Right? Because even if you're doing the exact same job, if you are sitting, you are not working. And I very much was thinking I would have to stand 8.5 hours every day. I had no shoe support. And so, in the end, like, I just couldn't do it. And I had to, I went to the chiropractor. And I told him, like, I was lucky I could walk. Because the last couple days, I could not walk. If I could, it was very minimal. And he's like, well, it's good you came. He had me stretch the farthest I could go. He had me describe exactly what happened. And I had herniated my disc 2 months ago. I had been working with a herniated disc. Here, let me show you what a herniated disc is. Okay. This is good. What I'm going to do quickly is settings, full screen, just full screen. Because that's what happens. This is a herniated disc. If I do reopen those tabs, that's a herniated disc. So what happens is, this is your spine, and between each bone of your spine is a disc. So whenever someone has a slipped disc, it's a different injury, but it's to deal with the disc. And what happens is a herniated disc is that the muscle tissue around your disc squeeze and your bone pinches so badly that it actually will cause the center of the disc to herniate. And it can actually compress and pinch spinal nerves, which is how I dropped. What kind of led me to that path. This is another diagram. The nucleus pulpus. The disc and spinal cord, all that. Anyways, what had happened was I herniated the disc. He had me do a single treatment that day for the herniated disc. He did red light therapy. Basically what happened was your body would take certain types of laser light and would cause, not inflammation, but would tell your body to send increased amounts of blood flow through this area. And so that's what I did, was they'd shine a laser light on my back for about 10 minutes. It would promote blood flow, it would promote the healing process. It was mostly a very natural way of healing my body. And I felt amazing that next day. I could stretch, I could walk and all that, and I felt like $1 million. I could go back to work. I went back to work, and I showed them, like, I could stretch and all that. I'm like, hey, I'm in treatment for that injury that happened 2 months ago. And they're like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, this is me stretching all that. I feel like $1 million. I'm going back, doing my job. And they're like, okay. Within about an hour later, again. No, yeah, it was about 2 hours later. 2 hours later, I had herniated my disc a second time. A different disc, and I herniated. And I was in extreme amounts of pain. I went and saw the chiropractor, and I was like, I need an emergency appointment. And they're like, okay, you can come in. We'll see you when you get here. Thank you. When they saw me, I was walking into there, like I was walking into the hospital originally. I was in extreme amounts of pain. They could see I was hunched over, no matter what, and they could hear me groaning in pain and me fighting back before. And it was one of those, like, you can hear the person's in pain, but they're trying to hide it as much as possible, so as to not disrupt others. And they were hearing that. They could see the pain in my face. When I finally saw the chiropractor, it was the chiropractor I saw 2 days prior. I saw his back. And one of the things he asked me was, have you ever dealt with scoliosis? Because when he was like feeling my back and all that, I'm like, no, I never had scoliosis. If anyone, very, very few people in my family has scoliosis, and it's always been caused from the other sides of the families who has a record of scoliosis. No one else in my family does. And he's like, okay. And I had destroyed my back so badly, they said, like, you need to take 2 to 3 weeks off. You cannot go back. You need to come in 3 times a week, and you need to essentially lay down and stay in bed for that entire time. I'm not joking when I say this. I could not sit upright in a chair for, I'm going to say, a week. I think it wasn't until like day 8 or 9 that I could finally sit upright in a chair. I wasn't able to do anything. I couldn't brush my teeth. I couldn't go and have a shower. I couldn't do anything. Just walking put me in extreme amounts of pain. And my mom kept telling me, like, you need to go into work. And I would basically turn and scream at her and say, the doctors have given me a note. They have told me to stay out from work. And she could see me. She could hear this all. And she's telling me to still go into work. It's better to have them send me home. I'm yelling at her saying, I can't do anything. I would be screaming because she would be screaming at me. I'm constantly just refusing to go to work. And the one day I finally went into work and I'm in a lot of pain. I'm like, I'm here to try and do what I can. And they told me, okay. Within half an hour, I was sent home because, and I quote, your doctor's note said you were not supposed to be here. I do not know why you came here. I'm like, I came here to get my mom off my back. And in the end, when I told my mom, they said, don't come back until that doctor's note says I'm allowed to come back. That's when she finally got off my case because my sister could confirm it. They're like, yeah, there was something wrong. And it hurt. I want to preface for you. Let me look this up. Real quick, okay? How badly does a herniated disc hurt? This pain might shoot into your arm or leg when you cough, sneeze, or move into certain positions. Pain is often described as sharp or burning numbness of people who have herniated disc often have radiating numbness or tingling in the body to be served by the affected parts. Overview. Though some people with a herniated disc feel no discomfort, others who have had the condition may find that hard to believe. For them, the sharp, intense pain that radiates down their legs or arms makes it nearly impossible to work, exercise, or do much of anything at all. That is honestly what I dealt with, was the latter. Now I want to preface, when that happened, I was young. I was still in I'm not saying I'm still not in the range, but when the incident happened, I was still in the range for the most susceptible people to get hurt in Canada, which is between the ages of 18 and 25. When you are in that range, when it comes to injuries, let's say for example, there's 100 injuries that will happen in Canada. When they look at age ranges, 18 to 25, it will take up nearly 50% of that range itself. It will take up nearly 50. Every other age will take up the 50, 52, 53. The second highest range is right before they're adult, is right before they retire. Why? Because they are most comfortable with the machines. Excuse me. So they become very relaxed and stop doing safety protocols. So, with that reason, I very much am so with that reason, I was in the range. In the end, I got screwed. My job denied me ever getting promoted. And they still had people do their admittance, but like the guy who was training me said, I don't remember 2 months back, don't ask me for anything. My job kept saying I never reported it to them. The general hospital, I told them where I went, what time it was, with all that. Apparently, nope. They couldn't corroborate me being there, even though they had signed me in. And they just said it was back all that. And when I had my chiropractor fill in the paper, it says on the paper to fill it in strictly black, no, strictly blue ink. They will not accept any other. Yeah, pretty fucking stupid. But it's what the paper says. They filled it in fucking red ink. Kind of pissed me off. So, because of that, and just no one helping me, it mostly just... Oh, what the fuck? Oh, that's all... A little bit with water. I could have just killed myself doing that shit. Because of that, and me constantly having to bring the paper back to fill it out and all that, in the end, I was refused. I was told that, no, this injury didn't happen at work. Work kept, my supervisor kept telling me, kept trying to play it off as, like, oh, you said this, or you said that at this time, before he said that you never even told us about this injury. It's like, no, I did. My family doctor didn't report this workplace accident. My job didn't report this workplace accident, even though I went to the hospital. The fucking hospital I went to didn't report this workplace accident. All of them legally were quiet, and not a single person. And I pay the consequences. I hate it. I wish that, honestly, everyone did their jobs. I would have been paid a lot of money that I miss. Even if it's not 100%, even if it was, say, only 50%, I would have still got over $1,000 that I would have not got, that I had to miss. I can thankfully re-request receipts from the chiropractor and how that has taken off of my tax returns, as that was medical expenses. I don't have to pay tax for that. Motherfucker! Are you fucking serious? Oh, such an annoying bastard. I can at least get the money taken off. I spent easily hundreds of dollars on being able to getting healed. In the end, I still deal with a little bit of back pain. My back will still act up some days. But all in all, like I'd say 85–90% of all my days are completely free of back pain. Yeah, especially sometimes when I'm sitting, I'll notice I curve, my back curves or whatever. And it's not. It's a lot better than, and I will gladly accept this over what I dealt with, you know? And so yeah, that's me and my back pain. All that, my back. Thankfully, oh, there's lead. What the fuck? But yeah, I very much, so I very much don't like doctor. I got put to a new doctor, and I don't like it very much either so far, because, and I quote, the one doctor I had, he became a specialist, which I laugh at because you don't see my doctor. Like my doctor, when I had him for close to 10 years. We saw him twice. No, not even we. I saw him twice. The rest of my family only saw him once. And what it was, for me, it was because I was having a breakdown in the office. Yeah. One of the first time we saw him, he was getting us, signing us up to be the people that would be he was getting us to be his patients and all that. So he was there chatting us up and all that, saying about how, oh yeah, this is how we do things here, yada yada. And how, oh, whenever you make an appointment, you'll see me and all this other crap, making a bunch of false fake promises. Shit, fucking hate it. In the end, I think it was the second time was, I think, like 3–4 years later. And it was because I was having a breakdown, and it was basically told, you need to calm down or we're going to have to call an ambulance for you. And it was very difficult to calm down and all that. I think it took me still 10–15 minutes after that, and they still didn't call an ambulance. So I was thinking about 16 or 17, and it was a lot. I'm a lot to get used to. I know that. My mom's boyfriend talking to his sister, and they're like, he's like, I live with your mom, and she's a bit to get used to and all that, but like not that bad. What is with your brother? And my sister's like, would shrug and say, man, I lived with him for 20 years. I never got used to it. There would be people I used to be friends with who could read people like a book, but they just looked at me and I threw them through a loop. Even if after knowing me for years, I would still throw them through a fucking loop. And they're like, I don't understand. I am, as my mom puts it, I am a lot to get used to. I very much am someone who it would take a lot. Oh, driftwood. So I guess driftwood being a new thing. I never saw driftwood, so I guess it's a new thing. I think in 20.3. What version am I in actually? Save and leave world. What version am I on? Yeah, 20.3 stable. Okay. But I'm a lot to get used to, and I know that. It's not easy. Never will be easy. And I hear like, oh yeah, um like, oh, actually I should look it up. Driftwood. Ingredient obtained by breaking driftwood. Ingredient for this. Oh, okay, so one driftwood will turn into, okay. So absolutely not worth it. Unless I'm desperate. But I'm a lot to get used to, I know that, and that's one of the difficulties with me. My cousin, oh my goodness. When I did roofing, there were some days he couldn't help but just yell at me because of the mistakes I made. And I'm not talking like little minor mistakes either. Like he being roofing and all that, you just get used to getting made fun of basically. Yeah, you gotta have thick skin. It's a very difficult job, so you kinda have to take it out on others naturally. You don't even try to, you just do. Anyone would do. Oh, what the fuck? Oh! Oh, I never thought I'd die that easy. Anyways, and so you kind of have to learn to take it on the chin, you know? Fucking just take it and... Are you okay? What the fuck? You have to learn how to have thick skin, or else you're not going to succeed. Easily, roofing, I find, has like an 85 to 90% turnover rate. When they take you on, they expect you to be gone in a week. And within the first month, if you leave within the first month, you're leaving because you are in pain. Imagine this, okay? I'm gonna say a bundle of shingles. For those of you who don't know, a bundle of shingles will cover an 8 by 4 feet sheet of plywood. Well, it'll cover a sheet of plywood. Basically, think of going to the hardware store or whatever, and there's just these giant boards of plywood that looks like they can hold, if you were to sprawl out, would be holding 3 to 4. That's a sheet of plywood. That is 8 feet by 4 feet. That itself would hold one bundle of shingles. That bundle of shingles can weigh anywhere from 72 pounds at the lightest, I find, to over 100 pounds per bundle. It is very common, I find, to have to haul at least 60 bundles. Now I want to preface, unless you are doing new con, being new construction, to haul that many bundles means you are pitching that many bundles. What do I mean by pitching? Well, there's many different terms for it. One of which being you are quite literally throwing it. Now imagine imagine you holding a platter. In the old-timey videos or whatever, they would, or very fancy ball-esque waiters would hold a platter. And they would have their hands pointed outward, the platter would be on their hand, it would be like curved up to be around head level, that kind of stuff. Imagine that, but turn your tips of your finger towards your head. Now imagine throwing it forward. Like you are trying to throw it as far as you can. Now imagine every single time you do that over the day, that is upwards of 50 pounds. You are tossing out one. While you are doing that, you are physically ripping the shingles off of the roof with a... I forgot what they're called. Ow. Basically, I think they were called, like, rippers? Yeah, rippers. That's really all they're called. Roofing rippers. Here we go. Images. Copy image. No, not copy image. Open link in new tab. Here we go. Fuck. Here, I'll, settings, this way. This is a ripper, okay? Roofer's World Red Ripper. This was the ripper I would use. And what happens is those angles there get around the nails. So what you'd do is you'd stick this under the shingle. You would shove it forward. You'd then quite literally rip the shingles off the roof by getting these tongs in between the nails and would rip it out. And then you would go under, you'd pull it back, and you'd go to the next set of nails and rip them off. And you would not get it to this degree. And these are wooden shingles. These are cedar shingles, I believe. They would not be, you wouldn't get it to this. But like, this is an example of like how it could look as you're ripping a roof. Now imagine that, and then it's like folded on top of each other. You have basically a bundle, and then you are throwing it off the roof, trying to get it into the bin. You're having to rip the shingles literally out of the roof. You are then hauling the garbage to the edge of the roof, tossing it over the edge, and then running back to your placement to continue. And then, once all that's done, you're also hauling bundles to the people that are shingling the roof. You are supplying them with nails. You are making sure everything goes right. So the compressor goes away, you go down and you fix it. And then you have to come back up. Oh, and don't forget, sometimes you can't get the fucking shingles delivered on, like some people are just cheap enough, they'll go get the shingles themselves. And then you have to haul them up a ladder, which is illegal, I want to preface. It is illegal if you haul them up a ladder. And what would happen is sometimes, just because of where you lived, you couldn't get them put on the roof. So you'd have to haul them up a ladder anyways. And it was bad. It was bad. And so, like, imagine hauling this. Then there's a thing that we use called ice and water. What ice and water is it would go on the first, like, 3 maybe 4 feet of the roof. And sometimes if it was under particular bad areas, we would have to apply a second layer of ice and water on top of the first layer. So say for example, the ice and water would naturally go back 3 to 4 feet on the roof at maximum. more look 6 to 7 feet back on the roof. And that's how far it would go back on the roof, and that would prevent water damage to the back to the tips of the roof and prevent leakages and all that. I want to preface, this stuff was so difficult to get shingles off most of the time. If you just got it enough that the shingles didn't overlap, that was good enough. No one liked working with this shit, but you did it because it's what better quality was. Some places didn't even have it because they hired cheap roofers. And it's not saying that it's because it's their fault. It could be that the roofing company seems great and all that, and then just turned out to be a bad one. It could have been that they quite literally couldn't have afforded it, or it could have been that a different owner at the time got cheap roofers because they were about to sell. I've been in that scenario where I was the roofer doing that. I worked for the roofer who was doing that, and I accidentally spilled it. Client confidentiality. Yeah, right. Anyways. What, the ice and water. After about 3 times, you would just, you would still put, new ice and water on top of the old ones, I believe. I don't remember. It's been like 3 to 4 years since I've been out of the roofing game. Okay? Be kind. Anyways. They might have put a new layer of ice and water and then a new set of shingles. At about the 3rd time, you had to replace the sheets of wood. You'd have to replace the wooden sheets because the amount of weight that would be on it would be detrimental and actually increase the amount of damage that it would be to the house. And if it's like, oh yeah, there was like way too much, it would be fall back on you. So you would actually have to replace the sheets. And it was I'm lucky. I think I only had to do that once. There was another time. Then on top of it, like a thing of ice and water, I want to preface, that weighed more than a bundle. Less than 100 pounds, but more than a bundle. Like the bundles I worked with were like 80, 90 pounds. This was under 100 pounds, but still more than the bundle. Oh, fuck off, you hog. Fuck you. Anyway. What happened was, on top of that, you'd have to do a wool synthetic. You'd have to call wools a synthetic. Wools a synthetic is basically a very thin paper-esque. It was more fragile than paper, but sometimes you'll see them on the side of new construction buildings. You'll see blue, flimsy shit flying in the air. That is synthetic. You would put that on the rest of the roof to add more water resistance. It would prevent water damage. It wouldn't be water. It would be water resistant. It would not be water permeable. It would not be water. I forget the word I'm looking for, but it would help prevent proof. It's not waterproof. It's water resistant. Anyways, what would happen is we would very much, you'd still have to haul that, and more times than not, the roll of synthetic would weigh over 100 pounds. Let me look. Roll of synthetic roofing under the line. This is what synthetic looks like. It's very thin, very flimsy, and weighs more fragile than paper. But it works. You would have to haul rolls. Each roll would weigh like 100 pounds. This was the one I was most familiar with. That shit is heavy. And you'd have to grab that, throw it on your shoulders, and fucking run. This is actually how you'd apply it. Actually, no. No, this is actually a horrible application of it. Why the fuck did Buddy apply it at the top first? That essentially centralizes the water damage. It doesn't prevent it. This is an application. This is how you fucking do it. This is... This is in theory worse than this. The reason being is because it is doing nothing. This is also how I used to do it. No ropes, nothing. No harness, no nothing. And it was safer that way for us because we were used to it. If you put ropes on us, we would trip all the time. So imagine like this, I had been on roofs, on at least one roof every other day for 4 years, minimum, okay? I think maybe 2 months of that I had a harness on and rope. If we had a harness and rope on, I would be tripping about every 10 minutes because we'd constantly be moving the rope, we'd constantly have to, we wouldn't think because we weren't used to it. And we would trip, we'd almost fall off the roof. Ow. We were like this. I almost fell off the roof twice. In 2 years. No, in 4 years. Sorry, in 4 years. I almost fell off the roof twice. In those 2 months, 2 to 3 months I used a harness and rope, it was almost an hour. Don't get me wrong, the rope kept us from falling. But it was also the reason we kept falling. Going back on it, one of the times my cousin actually really bitched me out for the job was actually because, and I quote, I fell through the roof when rain was approaching. That's why I remember it because it was fucking raining. I was going on this, but I never explained what. But what happened was, it was a roof where, say for example, you see how like, oh, it's going down a slant like this, but imagine this and that layer wasn't there. It was like that. It was like a sudden drop, not a layered progression like this. It was just a sudden drop, but it was still a new roof and attached to the side of the house. And so it would honestly. Are you fucked? I was in the water. Fuck you. Anyways. Actually, you know what? If I go with strictly catnip, I can have an extremely heavy source of, if I go with catnip, I can have an extremely high source of food. So anyways, what would happen is I fell through the roof because I was hauling a bundle that we were going to return, so we didn't have to charge the customer and all that. And because we didn't use it, you don't charge the customer. A lot of companies will use it because it's not right. Yeah, you wanna make money to do fair pricing, and that's what money is. And in the end, I I stepped where there wasn't a boom, and boom. I went into the point of my stuff, and we were rushing at that point because we had heard rain fall about 5 minutes from it. We were hearing rainfall at the edge of our field. We knew what was coming. We were hearing thunderclouds and all that. We were trying to hurry. And what happened was they had to replace the sheet where I fell through. They had to cut around it, find the beams and all that. Like, they were cussing me out. Some lady across the street didn't understand what was going on, and all they heard was me getting yelled at, me apologizing, me rushing help. And I was 19. She must have thought I was like 14, 15 helping her out, or whatever, which is highly illegal. You're not even allowed to do construction until you're 18. You can get thrown into prison for hiring someone who was under the age of 18. He could. If the judge wanted to, he could. Anyways, she was yelling at my cousin, and the other people were yelling at me. And I was trying to explain to her, like, ma'am, miss, you don't know what the circumstances is. Like, they're cussing me out and shit. Yeah, but like, one, you're only gonna make it worse because now I got you yelling at me and you yelling at us all that. Two, like, they're very valid for yelling at me. Like, I literally tossed my cousin. I put my cousin at risk for tens of thousands of dollars. I don't know about you, but I'd fucking yell at the person who did that to me. I don't care who the fuck they are. Like, obviously, if it's a little kid, I'm not gonna start yelling and cussing around. I was 19, almost 20 at that time. Like, it was very valid to fucking cuss me. I should have known that. I would have been doing roofing for like easily a year after. I knew that. She in the end started yelling and saying like, oh, they had no right and other shit. And I tried explaining to her, like, miss, you don't know why they're yelling. You don't know what's going on and all that. And she basically told me to shut up and that I didn't know what I was saying and that she would defend me. As you can tell, there's a like one who did this. And it's like, fuck's sake, so. In the end, we thankfully prevented any water damage, but it started to sprinkle as we were finishing. We were about to finish, and it started to sprinkle. Not this. This is a pissing. This is pissing. It started to sprinkle. So we were like, oh shit. Kind of like, get it done, you know? Hurry up. Put your ass in gear. And yeah, he, in my opinion, he had all rights to fucking yell at me for that. In ways, I put part of his livelihood in jeopardy because I don't know about you folks, but do you know how much it costs to fix a roof? I'll tell you, it's not cheap. So yeah, that's one of the few times where I think that you get cussing now. It's pretty fucked up. If somebody ever asked me like, oh yeah, what's a time where you made a mistake and you and it was like a costly mistake, but you learned from it, and how you learned from it, all that, I would 100% use that example. I would 100% use that example and all that because it was a costly mistake. Another time was my cousin. We didn't have shoulder gear, the e-straw. It's basically think of it as like a yellow thing that we put that would hang over the e-straw and protect it from damage from the ladder. I set up the ladder wrong and it did damage to the e-straw. I bent it slightly and all that. My cousin goes, shit. Yeah, like I bent it, I broke it slightly, we had to replace it. The problem was that it was, and legally they can tell my cousin, you need to get us an e-straw. Legally he has to do that because he broke theirs. And all he did was like partly replace it. He replaced what was broken. But the problem is that that color of e-straw is different than this. By a very, very small. Like, think of it as ivory, white, and red. You can tell the difference. But there's a difference. Sorry, it's they're both whites. They both very much look white. But there's a difference. You can tell the difference. Yeah. From what I found out, my cousin had to replace after my damage. Yeah, it kind of taught me, like, don't do shit without the proper protection. And if for whatever reason you can't do it without the proper protection, make sure you don't make it because they can replace it. I very much yeah, he couldn't really yell at me and shit because evidently, like, doesn't, you know? And, so he had to kind of make fun of me. There is some funny stories that come out there. Honestly. I got a couple belly laughers. Got busters. One of them is that my cousin, he was being really good. And my one coworker said, hey, stop bullying Monster. And I said, he's not being a bully, he's being a cunt. Because I was really sick of this shit. And he smirked at me and he said, you are what you eat. And me, well, without even taking a second, I spit out, no wonder you're such a dickbag. One coworker. This was a different coworker that said, stop bullying me. Because honestly, like, this coworker and I, we never got along. I could say some of the darkest, heinous shit, he would not laugh. Other people could say some shit, he'd laugh. That coworker, him and I never liked each other. Couldn't stand each other. He thinks I'm ultra-eccentric, I am here, there, and everywhere. I do a whole bunch of shit. But him and I both have a mutual respect for one another because of our work ethic. We both see each other as good workers, even if we don't like each other. And that guy, he was laughing his ass off. He was laughing his ass off at the fool I made of my cousin and started ridiculing and did it for the rest of the day. My cousin said, you know, Monster, that was going to be a lot nicer after what the one coworker said. Yeah, how about you with your bullying and all that? He was going to be nice. After that comment I did on him, after that little dig I did, he said, oh no, we're taking it up a few notches. He may have not bullied me, but did he fucking make me work that day? It was one of the hardest days I ever fucking worked. It was there. Woo. He made me move my ass that day, let's put it that way. Now, on the way home,
possibly get a few more berry bushes. Maybe if we see, yeah, maybe if we see some, if we are lucky enough to see some other crops, we will make a knife to cut them up. I believe they give a better chance on seeds. I never got seeds unless I use a knife. Maybe I'll just get luck. There's a boar. Cow, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And we're gonna get some. Where's the fox? Huh? That's very strange. So, anyways, we're gonna get some materials ready. We're gonna do some more. Actually, no. I said I was going to do panning off stream and all that because of yeah, I was going to do panning off stream. I just never got to it. Huh? What the fuck? Oh, a doe. No, not a doe. A doe's a female deer. A fawn. That's what I was thinking. A fawn. But yeah, no. We can go and I said I was going to do that, but at the same time, I don't really know what much to do. I do want to put out there that I am getting a little tired. Yeah, no, I'm getting a little tired. My throat is starting to crack a little and burn, so I'm going to hold back on talking so much. I'm just going to safely get back to base, at which point we can get. I'm going to say, you bitch. I'm gonna say, boy, do I love dirt. Get home, start smelting a lot of this food, and then we will get started. I'll get started on panning while off stream. You're supposed to be afraid of me. So just start coming up to me as if we're all good buddies now. You hear? But no. I'm gonna do some panning off stream. Probably do that tomorrow. It's either Wednesday or Friday. We're gonna do some more Valheim. And then it's either Wednesday or Friday. So if Mikey and Mr. are both on for Wednesday, we'll do it. If not, it'll be Friday. Maybe they'll want to play, but they just don't want to have it streamed. We'll just do our own private world and do it the next day. But Wednesday, I don't know what I'm going to do Wednesday. I don't really have that yeah, no, I don't really have, I'm going to say, that crazy of a life. I think it was Luna? The CSGO surfer guy. He would tell stories of his life and all that. And some of them, and like he had a video like every couple days. It was crazy. I don't have a crazy life. I don't have a good enough memory, or else I probably could have a crazy enough life like that. But then again, I don't have good enough memory. Honestly, maple. No, I need oak. I can't find any. I only found oak very, very far out. That's gonna be something I have to worry on. That's another maple log. Come on. I heard something. I guess it's just water sounds. Oh, okay. So clams can, the stuff like that can be in the water. But if it could or not. I only ever found it on the shore, so that's surprising. But yeah, no, my throat's starting to kill me a little bit, so I'm gonna end stream pretty soon. Sorry, guys. This. Oh, blue guy. I didn't know someone was so close to base. I'm gonna have to figure out some way of food. Because, like, I do not have... I want to have, like, planted these bushes and slowly propagate them enough that it'll be there and all that, but at the same time, I don't have as much area as I would like to. And because of that, I can't. Greenhousing also needs to be done, but that can't be until I get quartz and like maple. How far am I? Not too far. There's a few bushes here. But oh, fuck off. Fuck off. Are you serious? Why? Why? I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want you. Okay. Like, okay. No, I don't. No, I do not. There we go. Okay, I just did that. No. I'll hold off on collecting... No, I should. What should I put? Lamb? Yep. Go. Get this. These are claystone boulders. Okay. Back very soon. Hopefully I will remember at least to do some more. No, I'm pretty sure I remembered to finish the cannon. It's just I was out of food, so I went to get there. I died, and then I just so happened to. I shouldn't have deleted that death point around here, should I? Can't. I guess I shouldn't have. Oh well. Who remembers? Who knows? They're off. Holy crap. But yeah. Nah, I gotta hurry up. Yeah, but there's no hope. Well, I guess I'm traversing the rest in the dark. I shouldn't need to for now. That's the one. Okay. Come on. There you go. Anyways, sorry all. Thank you all so much for